Mariana, there was an article in Forbes titled, "Today's Enterprises Have a Complexity Problem. Their profits, productivity, and security depend on it." And the writer writes about, around the world, companies are facing a challenge with their tech stacks. As companies adopt new technologies like containers and microservices, they're left to choose to what extent these new solutions should replace existing technologies or be grafted onto previous layers in order to maintain backward compatibility. More often than not, the result is an impossibly complex patchwork of systems that is difficult to manage, maintain, and secure. The question to you, Mariana, is much of what People.ai does is help reduce complexity for your clients. Why do so many companies struggle to efficiently integrate new technologies, and how can they do it more successfully?
I think that it boils down to two or three components. Number one, I think, is the fact that everybody is looking for that shiny object. And that's what is created that almost like over purchasing of technology. You see something that it looks really cool and you're like, oh my God, I want to have it. But many times without really thinking, what is the real problem? And what is it that it's solving? Does it really make sense? Or is it just that it was easy to understand and you thought that it was really super cool and you should have it? Because at the end of the day, and that kind of brings me to the second point, everything has to start with the data. One of the topics that we can discuss at another time is when it comes something as forecasting. Do you really need an extra tool for forecasting? Or should you have the correct data from day one that allows you not to get into a place where you have to be producing 2 or 3 excess on pipeline because 2 are not going to close? If you had the data, you wouldn't need an extra tool. So it's really going back to what is the core problem so that you don't try to solve almost, the end problem, but you go to what is it that was missing. So first of all, as I mentioned, running for the shiny object. Secondly, not understanding what's at the core, that is what it's missing, making sure that data it's really being properly servicing the needs that you have. And then thirdly is that you really need to empower your people. You have to have the experts looking into it so that you can get into something that it's really solving for productivity and not really adding layers of complexity. What I love about what People.ai does is that everything is back into your CRM system. It's not one more tool that you need to be learning how to use, that you buy it and then nobody really, uses it. But it's really making the most out of your CRM, especially in the GTM space. In the CRM, you're already investing. So now let's get it to work the way that it should be so you can have that command center that really puts everything together. You don't need one more piece that is working over here, but you really need that command center. And in order to get to that, you cannot be chasing after the shiny object. You have to really understand what is the core problem. And you need to train and empower your people so that you can really make the most out of it, so that you start moving into that next generation of artificial intelligence that lets you run a full command center in the area that you work.
Love that answer. So good. Like getting back to the why, what's behind this? What are we really solving for? And I think it's so easy, especially in this landscape, to look at the marketing tech stack. The PDF online, there's so many trails of technologies you can buy, and it just gets bigger and bigger every day. And the use cases just grow more compelling. It's like, well, we need this thing, right? Because we have to have this thing. And I love you're just kind of pumping the brakes a bit of like, let's understand like what is really driving this and why do we need this? And I think that's just, again, it shows, an understanding of you can still move really fast by slowing down, right? You can still move really fast by slowing down.
That's what I love that quote, isn't it? That says, I would have written you a shorter letter if I had had more time.
Yep.
And I think the same applies for technology. Writing that shorter letter takes longer, but it's going to take you faster to delivering results, especially in the current macroeconomic environment where you really have to maximize your resources, making sure that every sales rep delivers as much revenue as possible. You cannot have them jumping around, as you say, that PDF of 50 different, it's not even 50, it's what, like 1,000
so many.
different
Yeah, so
technologies.
many.
And you have to have them in alignment with marketing so that everything comes together. And we haven't even spoken about customer success. You really need to have marketing, sales, customer success working together in a very customer-centric way. And for that, again, you cannot be chasing shiny objects. You really need to go to the core of what you're looking to solve for in a way that you're empowering your people to really make the most out of everything that you do.
The next article is an Harvard Business Review article released this month. The title is Why AI Customer Journeys Need More Friction. The author writes about, in marketing circles, friction has become synonymous with pain point. Eradicating it, conventional wisdom goes, is crucial to building a customer-centric strategy that yields competitive advantage. Taking a cue from policy applications of behavioral economics, marketers seek to nudge people along the customer journey and remove friction in the battle against sludge. So she goes on to make a couple of points. Good friction is a touch point along the journey to a goal that gives humans the agency and autonomy to improve choice rather than automating the humans out of decision making. The question for you, Mariana, as someone who is familiar with AI, do you agree that it requires a balance between a smooth customer journey and the so-called good friction, as the author describes? If so, like, how do you manage that balance at People.ai?
It's kind of interesting that, and I think it takes us back to the point that we were just talking about, that shiny object. It's very easy to make these big assumptions on what's good, what's bad. But the world is not that way. There are different shades of colors. 100% frictionless experience might work if you were maybe buying a soda in a buying machine that is so transactional that you really don't need any data point. By now, you just want to put your coin and get your drink. But even then, that has to be a very positive experience. So the assumption of just going into zero friction is better? No. Zero bad experiences, zero bad touch points is what it's important to remove. And we get into, from a customer journey perspective, we're starting to get into personalization. Mm-hmm. It's not about not interacting. It's about interacting with the right content to the right person at the right time. Sending me emails about, I don't know, a CMO in a B2C PLG, space, I'm not going to pay attention. Sending me a newsletter with what are the 10 trends in the B2B tech, like something that really talks to my problems, I really appreciate it. Isn't it amazing when you're looking for something and you find it? That is a good touch point. Isn't it amazing when you go into, a chat bot and they provide the asset that you were looking for? That is good friction because it's actually moving you to the next step. You got the asset that you wanted. Yes, you didn't have to make a call because you're not ready. But when you want to make that call, you want to have the right friction, somebody who answers you ASAP. We're not very patient in this day and age. So it's about the differentiation between bad friction and a good touch point that really moves you to the next step because it's personalized. It goes back, I'm telling you, it goes back to the people. We are humans. We are humans with problems, with opportunities, with challenges, whether it's in your personal life or in your B2B corporate life. And by having the right experience, that's something that we're prioritizing building at People.ai. How do we make each of the touch points a way that it really makes your life easier? Again, isn't it amazing when you find what you were looking for? Isn't it amazing when you open your email or your LinkedIn and you get somebody with a comment that is like, oh my God, did they read my mind? We now have the technology We have the artificial intelligence to be able to tell what is it that you're looking for. So let's build experiences, again, being customer centric, because people buy from people. And we're just people trying to do the best every day.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. This segment is brought to you by Salesforce. Salesforce brings marketing and engagement together. If you want to learn more, head over to salesforce.com/marketing. And please subscribe to this channel for more marketing insights from the world's best marketing leaders across the Fortune 500 and beyond.